The craziest cheaters on paternity court.
Cheating on your girlfriend with your wife. I don't even know if that happened. Can you do that?
He's a liar. He's a liar.
Wait,
I cannot stand you.
I would end up talking to other people. I was never intimate physically with anyone. No one.
Cheating is a hot mess. With people cheating their way into and out of marriage, who's going to pay the price? Well, children.
2 cases against your estranged husband today. The first is to prove that he fathered your 4-year-old son, Antoine Jeter, and the second is to prove he fathered your 2-year-old son, Kingston Jeter. You testify that you may not have been a faithful wife, but you were a careful one. You are positive he is the father of both children.
Yes, Your Honor.
Whenever the boy's mother was proposing in the court, Mr. Jeter refused to play along.
You know that she needs help,
Yes, ma'am.
but you refuse to help.
It's not so much as I refuse, I just don't want to be that guy taking care of someone else's kids.
And you truly don't believe these children are yours.
I truly do not believe it.
But you are still legally married.
Yes, we are.
The alleged father told the court how he had caught his wife cheating.
I know her sister's numbers and had a different number, so I answered the phone. And the guy, whoever it was, they didn't say anything, they got quiet, so I politely handed her the phone. She's always very honest when she gets caught. She went ahead and came clean.
While Miss Fain could only explain herself by saying this.
Pretty much, I got married early. I just wasn't interested in Drew anymore.
Is this the only time you caught your wife cheating?
No, it's not. This was the second time. The first time is very eerily similar to the second. I answered the phone, the same thing. I took her the phone and she told the truth about it. She told the truth. We worked past it.
So when Mr. Jeter found out about the pregnancy, his obvious reaction was this.
When she called and told me that, she was pregnant, my only response was DNA test. I don't want to take care of nobody else's child. I'm sorry, I don't.
We was having sex, unprotected.
Unprotected. You also had the affair during that time too, right?
Yeah, protected. I was protected.
How many different affairs did you have?
2.
But this couple had another plot twist to testify.
You didn't open just 1 case today, you have 2.
Yes, Your Honor.
You also have a son named Kingston.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you say that Mr. Jeter, your husband, is Kingston's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Kingston is 2.
Yes, Your Honor.
But wait a minute, Mr. Jeter, you said you all separated 4 years ago, so how could you be a possible father of Kingston who's 2?
So apparently, no one was innocent in this paternity jumble.
I was still making those trips up the road. That's what happened. We're just gonna tell the truth.
So wait a minute, you brought your girlfriend with you. She's sitting here supporting you. She's been with you for 4 years, but you got a 2-year-old son potentially with your wife.
Yeah,
now what kind of mess is this?
You're right, eh?
The bummer was that Mr. Jeter had his current girlfriend fooled for almost 4 years.
The defendant for 4 years.
So when's the first time you heard about him still going back and visiting his wife and sleeping with her?
Today. Yes, ma'am.
So Mr. Jeter, you had not told your girlfriend in 4 years that you were still sexually active with your wife?
And want his family back.
That's what he was saying?
And from my understanding, he's been denying that family.
Dirty, dirty. But as far as we know, now it was high time for all the parties to be honest.
We're here to tell the truth, because it's gonna come out one way or the other.
Yes, it is.
Yes, ma'am.
And my granny say in the wash or in the dry, but it's coming out.
Yes, ma'am.
And so when you found out you were pregnant the second time with Kingston, Miss Fain, did you tell your husband?
Yes, I did call him over the phone and let him know that I was pregnant again.
Were you sleeping with anybody else at that time?
Yes, I was.
So the judge ended the infidelity case like this.
It has been determined by this court. Jeter, you are not the father.
Infidelity is a vicious cycle, and once you are on it, it's hard to get off.
You've petitioned the court for a DNA test because you are certain you are not the father of the defendant's 2 sons, Malachi and Michael. You made a mistake signing one of the birth certificates and need today's paternity result to get your name off of it. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So this is how Jameson and Smith's off and on saga begins.
How long after that did she kick you out?
I say probably like a month she kicked me out.
And did you want to go back with your ex, Miss Smith?
I did, but then I ended up back with him. I told him I didn't want to go to my exes. I was done with it, and I went
Because she knew what
right
was
back
right for
with
her,
him.
Your Honor.
So you asked him to come back on home?
Yeah.
You
It's just
came.
an act, Your Honor.
Hold on, I'm getting to that part. Who were you with before you asked him to come back?
2 dudes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jameson found out the infidelity part like this.
Because I went through her phone and I see she texting her ex and she talking about, oh, I don't love him. He's just someone that's just around.
And so you confront her?
I confronted her about it.
What happened?
She kept denying it because she didn't know. She didn't know I went through the phone. Because during that text text messages, she had sex with the dude too on his birthday.
You saw that in the text message?
Yeah.
He further spilled the beans to the court.
Yes, there was a guy in the neighborhood. I was always asking her around the dudes that she bring me around. Did she do anything with him? Not to disclassify her.
You already knew
not
the
to
dude.
declassify her, but you know.
You already knew the guy.
He told me yes. When she kicked me out, she had sex with him too. There's another guy.
A third guy?
Yeah, there's a third guy.
Who told you this?
I found it in the phone.
I'm sure anyone would have serious trust issues after being fooled multiple times.
Kid, I signed the birth certificate even though I had doubts.
So you went and signed the birth certificate for which child?
Malachi. And I had doubts then. I was saying, no, I didn't want to sign it.
But he was there
I was
during the
there.
whole pregnancy, the birth, everything. You was there.
That's what a man
So
do.
how'd you doubt though? He don't want to man up to his responsibilities though. As a father of both of my kids, which I know he is the father.
However, Miss Smith had no clear explanation for her actions and testified all of straying to the court.
We break up, get back together.
Did you move on and start dating somebody else?
No, well, off time, no. With Malachi, but with Michael, I did.
The younger child, you did?
Yeah.
After he was born?
Before.
And
I've been
before.
getting cheated on this whole time in my relationship, Your Honor. 4 years.
I would end up talking to other people. I was never intimate physically with anyone, no one.
Next, the judge dived into the conception confusion.
You submitted a calendar to the court?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
That outlines why you believe you are not Michael's biological
That's
father.
a fact. Right here, July 20th. That's around that last week, that's the last time we had sex.
The baby's due date was June 8th.
June 8th. The baby came 2 months earlier.
I also...
2 months or 2 weeks?
2 months. The baby was born April 16th.
He was premature.
So the baby mama defended herself to the judge.
One of his family members had a party. They had a party. Me and him both attended. That was around, I would say, early September when all that happened. He
Didn't have sex.
Yes, he got to an altercation with someone. We was trying to have intercourse around that time, and he couldn't do it.
Trying and having is not the same thing.
But it did happen. We had to switch positions because your hand was messed up. What are you talking about?
Your Honor,
We've had enough of this. Let's move to the result.
Mr. Jameson, you are the father.
A 6-year-old relationship is at the edge of destruction because of paternity doubt.
You and Mr. Cawley have been together for 6 years, but now his paternity denial of your son Amani has put your relationship in jeopardy. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cawley, you claim that throughout your relationship, Ms. Winters has been unfaithful, and say when today's results you are not Amani's father, the relationship is over.
Yes, Your Honor.
The judge first asked Miss Winters to testify how it started off like this.
We have a lot of insecurity issues.
A lot of insecurity?
Yeah, because of, the past.
But it's just resentment from the issues from the past, though.
Well, what kind of issues from the past? Explain.
Betrayal, me catching her in the bed with another guy.
We were kind of broken up and having problems. I had caught him talking to another girl.
Wait a minute, don't skip over that catching in the bed part.
Yeah, don't skip that part.
In the bed with somebody else.
Yes, Your Honor. Well, I was away. The moment I got home, I was ready to just flop in the bed. I had been away for a minute. I turned the corner and I see both of them laying in the bed, and the guy was asleep. She was laying there.
I was just dressed. We were dressed.
You had your clothes on, you said, but you were in the bed with a guy.
Yes. He was a family friend, and he was spending the night there. And Michael was away. We were having problems at the time.
Well, that's a relief, ain't it?
I believe the only reason she told me about that is to cover up the other things that she did, just to make it.
What are the other things she did?
Just rumors of guys being at the house, her hanging out with other guys and stuff like that.
I admitted at the time I was talking to other guys and stuff, but like I said at the time, a couple months before that, I had just found out he was with some girl. I just can't prove he cheated, and he won't be man enough to tell me he cheated.
Further, Mr. Crawley told the court how he got into the relationship with the plaintiff.
I simply were kind of still testing the waters a little bit, but I was simply talking.
Why were you testing the waters, talking to other women when you were moved in with Ms. Winters?
I guess being young, saw my future kind of flash before my eyes a little bit.
The responsibility raising 2 children and being in this relationship made you start thinking.
Yes, Your Honor.
He further told the court how they both had agreed to keep things on track.
Agreement that we weren't gonna mess around and do all that no more. Around the time that she said that she was pregnant with Amani, her family member told me that she was at the house with the guy that I asked her not to be.
Take me back to that moment. You find out you're pregnant.
I didn't even say nothing or tell him or nothing. I kind of just bought a test because I was late. And when it came back positive, called him and I told them about it.
Further, it was disclosed that rumors from their family had put their family at stake.
You weren't at this house with this man multiple times, as your own family member alerted.
That doesn't like Michael told him, yeah.
This is a mess. You're just on a treadmill, running a race, and coupled with all the other rumors, you walking in the house, seeing her in the bed with somebody else, all of these things have fueled your doubt.
Yes, Your Honor.
After this, the lie detector test was disclosed, and it brought this to light.
The lie detector determined you were being deceptive on more than one occasion. Is there something you'd like to say?
In the beginning of 2014, it did prolong a little after than I said it did. That was the only thing that I can really think that about somebody now is a little different.
What's a little different?
Because like I said, then we were having problems, now we're not.
But instead of accepting their mistakes, the couple went on like this.
You're concerned that the relationship won't be able to last.
Because that was still, she was pregnant with Amani.
Well, then we should have broke up 4 months ago then.
We should have been, that's true,
Yeah,
we should have been broke up.
Probably been broke up.
Because you're saying, Miss Winters, well, then we should have broken up before he cheated again.
Right, because I feel like he did it because of what I did in the past, so he felt like I was gonna get over it, and he felt like he had one on me.
And the judge had this to say about the grubby dynamic.
And you just feel like my payoff is happiness. I'm gonna get to it by hook or by crook, and I'm gonna stay. I don't care what happens because I've invested a lot of time.
That's why I came here, to prove to him that Monty is his son, so that we, get past all this and we ain't gotta.
That's another reason why I'm so attached is because of the kids. Their fathers aren't really around at all.
So the only solution to their problems was DNA results.
Mr. Cawley, you are the father.
Miss Norville is in court because her wishy-washy baby daddy is refusing her child after getting married to another woman.
Norville, you summoned the defendant and his wife to court to prove that he fathered your 7-month-old daughter, Jacqueline. You say his denial stems from his immature wife, and you're here to set them straight. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
The judge asked the mommy what the new wife had to do with the doubt.
The defendant, the person he's known that he knew for 2 weeks, he never denied it. He was there when I found out I was pregnant. We were living together, so I don't understand now all of a sudden, since the new baby and the new wife, I don't understand how the new baby and the new wife, now she's not mine.
She further threw this detail in the courtroom.
That's Mrs. Ward.
He just texted you last night?
I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to get married.
Oh, you came with receipt?
I didn't mean to get married. I mean, it's just so.
What is that in your hand?
I mean,
this
who's
is the
he with
message
every
from
night?
him. Unknown.
So hold on, Miss Norville, what do you have in your hand?
The text message from him last night while he was in the hotel room with his wife.
Oh, that isn't going to help Mr. Ward with his claims.
I got married, which I shouldn't have. Just understand me, I'm sorry. So that means what? I don't see you or get to talk to you, but I have to be miserable, no Kadeem. When I'm done with this, you can have all my time. You can have it now. I just want to get this divorce and be done with her. Stop saying bye. I love you.
Okay, this calls for order in the court.
You say he was perfectly comfortable with the baby until he got married.
I was not completely comfortable at first with Jacqueline being my daughter because of how it all went down. We moved into an apartment together. Not even a week later, she's kicking me out, telling me she cheated on me. I'm the baby daddy, but you kicking me out? So what type of love is that? What type of love is that?
Next came the cheating part.
Okay, were you telling him there could be another father?
No.
But you did admit that you had slept with your ex.
On my birthday.
No, you didn't sleep with him on your birthday. You slept with him before her birthday because
I did.
she told me she cheated on me on her birthday.
No, I slept with him on my birthday.
How did you sleep with him on your birthday if you told me you cheated on me
earlier
on your
that
birthday?
day? I slept with him on my birthday.
Mr. Ward even told the court that he didn't even know about her supposed daughter's birth.
I knew like 2 months afterwards she was born,
It wasn't
and I know about my mom.
She came to my house. She was only a couple weeks old.
She was 2 months, man.
She was 6 weeks.
She was 2 months.
She was 6 weeks.
She was 2 months, man.
She was
hold on, let me understand the story.
God.
If you knew for certain Mr. Ward was your child's biological father, did you put his name on the birth certificate?
Oh, no.
Miss Norville, on the other hand, had this excuse for her attitude toward her baby daddy.
You're pregnant by Mr. Ward?
I didn't want to do that, and I'm pregnant now. I cannot stand you.
How did I make
Has he been to any doctor's appointment? I've been to 2 so far. You think he called me? No, but it's okay. It's okay.
But as we know, the judge is a pro when it comes to dissecting these sorts of equations.
I bought them. When he needs gas
When your
money to
baby
get to
needed
work.
milk, I bought that.
Oh,
when
he
your
took
baby
it back.
needed,
He took it back.
No, he did
he
not.
did
No,
take it
he
back.
did not.
He did.
No, he
Kadeem,
did not.
tell him you
No,
back.
he did not.
What kind of love triangle is this?
Through the
Let's get some order. I mean, angle is in full effect.
It's a lot.
I can't believe this. And I've heard a lot.
After this, we get to hear from another mother in the courtroom.
I'm Kadeem's mother.
And yet you are standing next to Ms. Norville.
Yes, I am.
All right, can you please tell the court why you're choosing to testify on the side that is opposing your son?
Jacqueline, that's my granddaughter. I don't dispute it. I can look at her when she sent me a picture of her. I knew it. And I told my son, you can get a DNA all you want to.
And Mrs. Ward had this take on the whole situation.
So as soon as he figured out that you were being entertained by some other man, shoot, well, why not go back to the girl I really love?
Evidently, he don't really love her.
Well, evidently.
You know why.
If you want to talk about some evidently is evident, root word of evidence is evident, it is evident that he still does love her.
Let's jump to the result, shall we?
Mr. Ward, you are the father.
Yes, I knew it.
This baby mama is having a hard time comprehending why her baby is in the middle of paternity doubt.
You are positive that you are not this baby's father. Ms. Jones, so you're furious he accepts one child and not the other?
Yes, every time he comes to see his son, his 2-year-old son, he forgets about Adonis. Like when other people get in his head, Adonis don't exist, but when we all alone, that's his son.
No, I don't believe it's my child, Your Honor. I don't.
But this was not the first time that Mr. Fowler was on this ride.
Once again, a woman is accusing you of fathering her child. Do you believe you are Amira's father?
No, I do not.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Fowler, you are not the father.
Further, this got disclosed to the court.
When he drunk and he want to have sex.
All right.
Never. This is a lie.
So
how? We just had sex 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, we was drunk.
Right, that's the only way you contact me.
All right, let's deal with Adonis. But I will say, you all just repeating the same mistakes, and that's why you keep ending up here.
I love him.
Well,
I always wanted to be a family with him.
I don't love her. I don't love her.
Wait. It's gonna get more brutal from here.
I don't.
And this is exactly what I had to go through.
Even if Adonis is my child, I don't want to be in a relationship.
This is exactly what I had to go through ever since Kimari was a baby. He brought other females around him.
How many guys I coach with in your household?
Okay.
And none of them I slept with.
Right.
And Ms. Jones, but you went and got pregnant by him again, potentially.
And the judge had this to say about the whole situation.
To be honest,
there's no other word. It really is. It's so bottom of the barrel. Once he broke off the line, I don't love you.
He never
if I were you, I'd be here for my son.
He never told
No,
that.
you still trying to argue with him, Ms. Jones, to get his attention.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
No, don't talk. Don't start talking.
So, let's get to why they were both in Lake's courtroom.
What's going on with you all then?
When I told him I was pregnant with Adonis, he said the baby might be mine. That's what he said. He said that baby is mine. You don't know who your baby father is? That baby is mine.
That's
that baby
a lie.
is mine.
I just told him baby's not mine.
So now how did you find out Ms. Jones was pregnant with Adonis?
My family members seen her and asked me was I the father. So I asked her. She always say, you might be, you might not.
But confusion is getting more tricky.
So Kimari's birthday is November 16th. His birthday is November 2nd.
All right, but during the time before February,
what does that have to do with anything?
The dates adds up. Around the same time I got pregnant with Kimari is around the same time I got pregnant with Adonis, and he was the only woman I was sleeping with. Besides, it was him and another person, but he's for sure the father.
Ms. Jones told me that she was in a whole relationship.
After this came the other boyfriend part.
2 people during the window of time when Adonis
I broke up with my
conceived.
other boyfriend.
It was more than 2 people, Your Honor.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was.
No, it was not. No, it was not.
So wait. Ms. Jones, you are saying.
How many kids do you have?
You had another boyfriend, but you broke up with him to be with Mr. Fowler.
Yes.
Lie.
Yes.
That's a lie.
No, it's not.
And he was even asserting that he was the father.
That guy
Yes.
is asserting that he could be.
Be the father. Yes,
and he
ma'am.
told you that?
Yes, in my face.
So,
Yes.
Ms.
They're
Jones?
beefing.
Yes.
They can't even speak to each other.
But he was
so
in your
how?
house. I was there though.
And I make sure y'all don't even speak to each other.
But
He
he's
does not
around me
talk to
still.
him. You antagonize him every time you come to my
wasn't-
house.
So if you broke up with him in November,
Your
why you
Honor,
in the house?
So we know that things like these get on Judge Lake's nerves.
So I don't know why we're going on this back and forth where you gonna one-up her and she gonna one-up you. I'm unimpressed. And you mean to tell me poor Kimari is sitting up there having to listen to this nonsense? Adonis having to listen to this toxic nonsense?
She further concluded this.
But if there's not enough rage in the world to make him care about you. He doesn't. Now the other problem is, Mr. Fowler, you wrong as the day is long because you know you don't want to be a family with her, yet you using her as your own personal 7-Eleven, open 24 hours, 7 days a week for your convenience.
Now, Let's end this.
Mr. Fowler, you are not the father.
Easy and simple.